Hey, it's John and Mike from brew-juice.com. So it's chilly night in the garage, but
you're all dressed for winter.
I'm freezing. Well, you don't have any hair. The beard only doesn't get you so far.
True.
But we're drinking some good beer, John. So what'd you bring for us tonight?
Well, this is, if you've been following the post, I guess over the past couple of months, this is our Yule Lager, or my version of the Yule Lager. Got a friend who was throwing down a challenge of a Yule Lager. I guess he said that the lager was actually spelled Log-er, so he's, I guess, another marketing guy. So I actually based this off of Jamil's too roasty Schwarzbier recipe. It calls for a good amount of roasted barley that probably isn't to style, just because I guess Schwarzbier is really just a pilsner that looks black. But I really like the idea of putting a little more roast into a lager to make it more stouty. Thought that was a good idea for a holiday lager. And then the twist on this is that these are all homegrown hops. So you have Magnum to bitter, and then I think 2.5 ounces of Mount Hood homegrown hops right here in good old Massachusetts put into the beer. So I really am happy with the results. This is quite a drinkable stout. I said it's the cleanest stout I've ever made.
That's good.
So what are your impressions on that?
I love it. I mean, first of all, the color is like phenomenally dark. I mean, it's unbelievably
light is not escaping.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So it definitely actually almost falls into like an overly dark brown porter, because that's the way it tastes to me, or a great stout. I mean, but there's definitely a lager crispness to it and characteristic. I think that the roast, even though it's super dark, the roast is actually fairly light.
Subtle,
it's not like ashy at all, certainly like a porter would be.
Yeah.
It is more stout-like. It's a softer roast. There's definitely a nice chocolate that comes through, but not a really dark or bitter chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, there really isn't a lot of bitterness for it being so dark. It's not really a bitter roastiness.
Yeah.
But it's super balanced. The attenuation is great. I mean, the bitterness from the hops is fine. There isn't a whole lot of hop aroma, but the malty aroma is nice. For me, when I drink a dark beer, I want it to taste dark, and it does taste dark. but it's a very approachable dark. I mean, if someone didn't like dark beer, this recipe, especially done as a lager, is probably the way to go. I almost wonder if this could pass as a really weak Baltic porter. You know.
Well, I put it into competition as a Schwarzbier. We'll see how it comes out. We'll see how the results come back.
This beer is phenomenal, though. Yeah, it's great.
There you go. Well, Jamil knows what he's doing. This is the one. There was one recipe in his book, Brewing Classic Styles, and he said this one's won numerous awards. It's won both on the amateur and professional level. And I said, all right, well, it's definitely one to try out. So
I don't know how you make a dark beer using a roasted malt that isn't going to be roasty to some extent. You know what I mean? Unless you really fake it somehow with cinema or something, you know. But the reality is, it's going to, even like black IPA, black Belgian beers, there's going to be some roast because you put roast in there. It's going to be there. But it works here. It works.
No, we'll see what other people think, especially when it hits competition. So
I guess you won the Yule Lager Throwdown Challenge.
Well, I don't think there was only one. There was only one entry so far. I don't know if the competition's actually over.
Mine's still a bucket of green.
Okay, well, we'll taste that when it's done. So for John and Mike, brew on, Black
Cheers.
Lager.